Hello, hi there Capricorns. I hope that you are all gorgeous and all well, and welcome to my channel. My name is Better and most people know me as Better the Secret Psychic, and this is your love horoscope for March 2019. If you're watching me for the first time, do look down below because you'll find all the links to me, my services, my Facebook page, and if you'd like to know more private reading, links are all just down below. And if you are a regular, welcome back. I do love to hear what you have to say, so do like and comment or subscribe if you'd like to have more of my monthly readings. Most of you know I like to jump in. If you're watching me, I'm also a psychic reader. I'm also a tarot reader, so I work for my spirit guides. That's how I do all of my work, and you'll get how it goes as we go along. All right. So I'm going to look at this kind of week by week, but the overall message that I'm getting from my spirit guides in relation to you and the message they want you to know. They kind of want you to know, oh my God, like very deep stuff. They're saying along the lines of like everything that you have missed in your life, you have gained. And I kind of like that thinking, because they're saying here that a lot of Capricorns start the month really thinking or reflecting on what they perhaps have lost last year, maybe even lost at the beginning of this year. And really start, instead of like, sometimes when we think of loss, we think of, it kind of agonizing. And I just get from some of you that you're now starting to see what Saturn's been trying to show you for the last 14 months, which is the things that you were scared to lose, even though they were not good for you, you're now reaping the rewards. There is a gain. And when you think about that for all of our lives, there are things that we don't have in our lives, but there are things that we gain. And your mindset is very, very much coming across as, in this month, recognizing that there's lots of gains that you're getting that counterbalance or bring the balance to the things that you've lost, or actually perhaps would never have been if it wasn't for you losing things. And so it only spurs you on in your determination to feel completely whole, maybe beautifully selfish in this month, around meeting your own expectations and not others. And you having a bit of an audit of your life, particularly around your romantic life, and saying, well, yeah, that one really hurt and that one didn't work out, but look what I gained from it. Now, for some of you, as we go into this month, I have to say it's important that that message is there, because it's retrograde season, and Saturn, because you are in the school of Saturn up until December now of this year, and you have been for the last 14 months. Saturn likes to almost, it's like a teacher. It's like I've been teaching you, and it's been very strict teaching. So strict that every now and then, particularly in retrogrades, you get a test. You get a test to see if you've learnt. And if you haven't, then Saturn will be on your case. You'll have to stay after school, and you'll get detention, and you'll get a tougher lesson until you learn. So as we're in a retrograde season, and retrograde often brings people back, that's exactly what's going to happen, Capricorn. So particularly people that you in your love life have been thinking about, that you've had a loss over, and how that impacted you. And even though you can see it was very, very much, so meant to be, because you gain so much more from it, intellect, money, well-being, Saturn's going to test you. Are you really, it's all good in thought, but if that person's standing right there in front of you, all messaging you, are you really going to see that that loss was really a gain? This is the month that's going to test you. So Capricorns, be aware, there's a blast from your past. Could be, and definitely around last year. And it's a test to see whether you've learnt lessons. So my message here, guys, is do not be fooled. Do not go back. Do not, pass. Do not pass go and collect £200. Do not do it. All right? Pass the test. Because you only have to face a harsh lesson. And a harsh lesson will be, you'll accept them back in. They will be just the same. you'll have to, then it will end. Then you will then have to face the consequences of that choice, because you have to go through healing again, only then to figure out they were meant to not be in my life. This is the test. I'm trying to see whether there's a way around this, in terms of, because sometimes the test could be that you needed to be different with that person, instead of going, oh, you know what, I'll brush it under the carpet. I guess for some of you, perhaps there is that, in terms of, well, if you're going to be in my life, it's got to be this way, and you really meaning it. But overall, my guides are saying, or should I say Saturn is saying, is that what I've been teaching you? Do you want more gains, or do you want a little bit of suffering, a little bit? Sorry, guys, I have to say it as it is. So basically, and I think it happens fairly immediately in the retrograde. So the retrograde starts around the 5th. And I think it's going to be around that time. And I think for you, particularly where you might have kids with that person, this might be more trickier than most. But the advice is to not go backwards, is to go forwards. I'm not going to lie, it for the first couple of weeks, that's where it feels like that can happen. And then I get you all kind of thinking again about what you lost and gained. Maybe even feeling like, I really wish I hadn't have done that and come back, because now I'm feeling a bit, you know, questioning myself. But by the time you get to the 3rd week, you will remember again and feel very confident again. And I'll tell you why. So the first couple of weeks, you'll have this challenge. Someone will message you, text you, bump into them, whatever. Your job is to not take that forward. Definitely not in the same way. If you've done that, you are rewarded immediately. There is an immediate gain. So, and it will come in different ways. This is a general reading. So it will be, some of you, I'm getting it's financial gain. You get an offer of something, a job. Some of you, it will be that you meet your lobster. You meet the person you're supposed to be with. For the very few where perhaps their return just needed you to be consistent, where you're just like, no, unless you're going to leave that person, for example, and they say yes, and they do it within that week, then that might be part of that reward, but it's not coming up as the holy biggest thing for the majority of Capricorns. It's definitely to not revisit that one thing that I think most of you will know what I'm talking about, that one person you know what I'm talking about. There is an immediate reward in the 3rd and 4th week. It's almost Saturn's proof. Like, you need to see it like a school teacher with gold stars, and those of you who passed get your star, get your wish. That's what stars represent in a spiritual sense. You get your wish. You get something that you gain. You get rewarded. Because it's only going to see you right for then the rest of the learning that Saturn has to offer you to position you in the place you're supposed to be for your next cycle, energetically, of your growth and learning. I'm trying to see. So I'm just giving me a moment, because I'm just trying to see. There's more that they want to say, because it just suddenly went silent. Overall, they're kind of pretty much done with their overall message. I'm not going to lie, because that's what they wanted to say. But they're just saying here, emotionally for you, it's. I get the overall impression that most of you will be very, very pleased with yourself, proud of yourself even. Some of you may be delighted that you were able to say on your bike to somebody. Some of you feeling a little bit like, I really wish that he or she could have been different. And so there's a tinge of melancholiness that it was there. But I think what you gain from that experience is the knowledge that you were right. The knowledge that you was good for them. So there's a gain in that, even on its own. Do you get me? So you've got an interesting one, dear Capricorn. So retrograde's going to certainly hit you square between the eyes, because you have to deal with the energy of somebody. And if you can resist it and not repeat the same lesson, Saturn's going to reward you. You'll have a gain immediately that only sends you into a much more stable position with your love life, but also it feels like in other areas of your life also too. And that cannot be a bad thing. So, my dear Capricorns, I hope that's been helpful. Again, if you'd like a private reading with me, the links are just down below, and I will be back next month with another reading for you. Take care.